Welcome to this week's Sports Highlights. I'm Lauren Wortman, and today we have with us guest commentator Kelsie Eckert.
Hello everyone. To start off, we are going to look at a highlight from yesterday's Mizzou basketball game.
It all came down to one final free throw. Let's take a look.
This shot was absolutely crucial. The entire crowd was silent. You can see the coach's tension in the eversion and inversion of his foot.
The what?
See how he's swinging his foot? When he's inverting his foot, he turns his sole medially. Then by turning his sole laterally, he's everting his foot. You can definitely tell he's nervous.
Oh, all right. Well, let's take a look at the shot. The score was tied 52-52, and at the last minute, there was a foul on Mizzou player Jeffrey Davis.
Now Davis is preparing to make the final shot. He pulls back his arm in flexion and...
In what?
Look, when he pulls back his arm to shoot, he decreases the angle of his elbow joint and brings his arm bones closer together. It's called flexion. Now, when he shoots, it increases the angle of his elbow, bringing his arm bone further apart. It's called extension.
Okay, and what does that have to do with basketball?
Well, those movements are allowing him to bend the arm to allow him to shoot.
All right, well, let's just take a look at the shot. And it's in! Mizzou wins the game. What a great moment for this team.
All his teammates are congratulating him on this amazing shot with their hands in pronation.
Okay, I'm lost. What are you talking about now?
Well, when his forearm rotates medially so his palm faces posteriorly, it's called pronation. Like when you're giving a high five.
Okay, well, while his teammates celebrate, he takes a drink to cool himself down after the big game.
And look, his arm is supinated with his palm facing anteriorly to lift his water bottle. Gotta stay hydrated.
Well, that's it for this week's basketball highlights. Let's take a look at baseball. This week's game was between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. Cardinals pitcher Sam Marshall was going for a perfect game and only needed one more strike.
Catcher Danny Drury was communicating which pitch to throw. You can see Marshall telling him no by shaking his head in rotation.
Marshall chooses the fastball and prepares to throw.
There he is, pulling his arm back in retraction, and he releases his fastball at 95 miles per hour by extending his arm forward in protraction.
The Cubs batter swings and misses. It's a strike, and Marshall wins a perfect game.
What an accomplishment for Cardinals pitcher Sam Marshall, all with the help of the movement of those synovial joints.
Yeah.
Shall we take a look at soccer?
This week's big soccer game was between USA and England. Because of a handball in the box, USA was awarded a penalty kick. You can see England's goalie preparing to block by rotating his arms in a cone shape.
You know, that's called circumduction.
Of course it is. Notice that the goalie is trying to distract the player.
Yeah, he's using abduction by bringing his arm away from his midline, and adduction by moving it toward his midline again. It's an interesting tactic. Let's see if it works.
Of course not. USA is unstoppable. It's a goal.
What an exciting week for sports fans. All the movement of those synovial joints really help those players make the right plays to lead their teams to victory. Well, except for England.
Right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you to our guest commentator, Kelsie Eckert, for her interesting commentary. We'll see you next week on Sports Highlights.